when they told Billy Wilder that there was going to be a remake of Sabrina, he said, I didn't know there was something wrong with the original. Was there anything wrong with the original Point Break?
I love the original Point Break. I think it's a wonderful film, and it's great. Catherine Bigelow is a fantastic director. I'm a huge fan. And I think the original movie was epic and very influential at its time. I think the idea here was not to make a remake. I wasn't interested in making a remake, or do I think making a remake of Point Break is a good idea? I think reimagining it was a fascinating idea to take the characters of the original Point Break and bring them into the world of today. What is it like 25 years later? What is it like if those characters were on a world stage, as the world is so much more interconnected than it was even 25 years ago, rather than just the world of Venice Beach, which the original took place in. And as a result, it became a thing where we were able to bring in international actors and characters into the film, shoot in 11 countries on 4 continents, and bring in extreme sports that were truly inspired by the first film, the surfing and the skydiving of the first movie, and things that weren't even invented at the time, but certainly have their roots of inspiration back to the original, now exist, and we were able to capture those as well. And to make it something of the now, we also wanted to do those absolutely real. No green screen, no CG characters. We wanted to absolutely make it 100% real in camera, to have the visceral energy and the authenticity of that and bring it to the screen.
All of it? Even the storm at the end is not CG, or?
We shot all that storm, and all the surfing in it is 100% real.
Wow, impressive. How realistic is it in terms of this, in terms of stunts, in terms of the sport itself? How would you say that it is the true thing, the real deal?
Well, I mean, the surfing is real. So, I mean, that's about as realistic as it gets. The guys are doing it, you know? And as far as the wingsuit flying sequence is concerned, I mean, that's 4 guys flying that close to each other and that close to the ground, entering Earth. You know, that's really happening. So, as far as the reality of people doing these things, they're very realistic in the fact that it's happening. I mean, what you're witnessing is what's going on, you know? And that was one of the things that intrigued me by what Ericson wanted to do, was this idea of like, I don't want to use green screens, I don't want to use wire work. You know, when we do the wingsuit flying sequence, I want 4 men flying wingtip to wingtip in between camera positions while entering Earth, like going underground, subterranean. And, you know, it takes a lot of courage to do something like that, because we all know how dangerous that is, you know, and the idea is they gave us the resources necessary to be able to pull it off in a safe way, you know, which is really rare, very rare.
Does that mean when they're flying in the Alps and they're going into beside a very, very scene world, and it's very, is it true?
I have 100%. Every single scene you see of the wingsuit pilots, when you see a wingsuit pilot 1 foot off the ground doing 125 miles an hour, that's a person really 1 foot off the ground doing 125 miles an hour. That is the wingsuit flying sequence. Every single frame is 100% real.
Did you drag the producer to have his authorization?
It was a really extraordinary thing to get the support of the producers and Alcon to give us the opportunity to go around the world and shoot these things practically in so many countries with so many international crews, with so many extreme athletes as opposed to stuntmen or just CG, and actually do these events for real, which takes more time, more energy, and a great deal of focus and money spent on safety to make sure everyone was safe. It was amazing that we were allowed to do it, but it also allowed us to create a film that is pretty unique out there in the world today.
I was talking with Edgar, and he said that the big difference between those guys at the time of Point Break and those guys now is that the philosophy is different, that it's more maybe political than it was at the time. Do you agree on that? Do you see that?
Absolutely. In the original film, Bodie and his crew were robbing banks to surf an endless summer. And that was their reason. It was their protest against the grain, but also to get what they wanted. In this case, Bodhi's going after what he wants in the sense of the Ozaki 8 to achieve extraordinary challenges or ordeals, as we call them, in every element of the earth and extreme sport. But by doing so, he's also giving back, because I think that the ideas of today and having an awareness of the entire world, we must give back. If we take more from the earth and the world around us than we give back, we don't have a sustainable planet. And the others who do take more need to be stopped. And that's ultimately what Bodhi's trying to do.
I had a lot of fun watching the movie yesterday, and those scenes are impressive. But there's one thing that lingered in my mind. When they go up the mountain and they bring the wings and the tent and all the equipment, couldn't they bring a lighter to light a fire?
You know, it's an interesting scene. No one's mentioned that, but we did use Bushcraft, original style of how to make a fire. I actually know that craft, and we brought out the Bushcraft instructor who taught me how to do that.
There's such a thing as a bushcraft instructor?
Absolutely.
Okay.
There's a way to learn how to make a fire by rubbing sticks together. Absolutely. And the reason for doing that is they don't do things the easy way either. They do things the authentic way. And there's something about that that's a statement about their character and about their connection to the earth that's different than carrying a Bic lighter.
There's Luke just told me that when he was a kid, Point Break was his movie, that was his connection to a certain way of life. Do you feel like could do the same to a new generation of kids today?
Let's talk in a few years and I'll let you know.
Was it a plan? Do you
It
want
was never a plan to do that. It was a plan to bring an awareness to this world. One of the themes of the film about the line, which exists in all these extreme sports, and certainly Bodhi has within his philosophy of life that he's going to an extreme to try to complete, is something that we do want to carry forward. And whether someone is about extreme sports or whatever their path in life is, as long as they can find something in their heart that they care about enough and can carry it forward and follow their line purely, that would be a beautiful thing.